Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games. Today I want to talk about the upcoming onslaught of Nintendo news. We have so much Nintendo news to look forward to over the next couple of weeks, almost perfectly spaced out, like there's a perfect cadence of what we can expect from Nintendo in terms of marketing beats, and it's just a really exciting time to be a Nintendo fan. It's a little funny because we spent so much time hyping up and waiting for that Switch 2 reveal, and admittedly, if you've noticed, I haven't been uploading much. After we got that Switch 2 reveal, like, there was like a 2-week dead zone of just like no hype. There was not much discussion within the community, but I think that all changes starting tonight with Nintendo's financials, and then as we move out through the last months of winter into spring, and then obviously with summer when the Switch 2 will likely release, we're kind of just at like the perfect time. We're on the precipice of just constant banger after banger news items from Nintendo. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to kind of lay out and talk about Nintendo's roadmap for the next couple of months, because I think there's just a lot to be excited about if you are a Nintendo fan. Of course, as always, if you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo discussion, speculation, theories, all that fun stuff, I would appreciate you subscribing, but let's get into it. Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Apologies for the lack of uploads recently, but as I just said, like, there really hasn't been that much to sink my teeth into, I feel like, you know? I don't want to just make a completely BS video that's talking about nothing or like a completely obvious fake rumor. Today I wanted to talk about this roadmap that we kind of have laid out upon us here. In theory, right? Some of these things may end up not happening exactly when I say in this video, but I think this is pretty much the agreed upon kind of roadmap here, and most of the stuff is like confirmed by Nintendo. So starting off tonight, Nintendo's financials come out, and this is something that really only matters to like the hardcore people watching my videos, frankly, but I'm actually very excited for these financials and for these updated sales numbers for Echoes of Wisdom, for Mario Party Jamboree, as well as Mario and Luigi Brothership. This will be our first time hearing the sales numbers for these games, like concrete from Nintendo, including physical and digital. It sounds like Jamboree did really good, maybe even exceeded expectations, but then Mario and Luigi Brothership and Echoes of Wisdom maybe underperformed a little bit, so I'll be very excited to see what those sales numbers actually look like, but I'll also be very excited to see what the Switch itself is looking like now as we have the holiday sales numbers. Its final holiday as Nintendo's sole console in the market. How well did it do? Based on how well the Switch sold last quarter, from, you know, October to December, this is basically going to be the thing that tells us whether or not the Switch can actually outsell the PS2. So, as somebody who's been tracking that for a very long time, it's going to be exciting to see that. I think we're probably looking at around 151 to 152 million, so there'll still be a few million shy of passing the DS, and then like, what, 7-8 million shy of passing the PS2. That's my expectation. It's going to be really exciting to see where all these numbers are at, and, you know, most importantly from this financial meeting, they've revealed the Switch 2. So they're going to have to talk to investors about the Switch 2 at least a little bit here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a nugget or two of information. Maybe we get an updated image of like their third-party partners or something that maybe gives us something else to talk about. And then, you know, moving into the next thing here, a Nintendo Direct. I think it is very possible that, not unlike what they did last May, where they had their financial meeting and then they said, hey, stay tuned for the June Nintendo Direct for Switch 1 games. I wouldn't be surprised if, in light of all of the Switch 2 questions and all the Switch 2 talk that will be happening, there may be a few investors that are, you know, on edge about Switch 1. Like, what's the plan with Switch 1 this year? Really, all we know right now is Xenoblade X with a concrete date, but then Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon a little bit more, you know, in the background there, coming out later this year. I wouldn't be surprised if Furukawa, we get one of those Furukawa tweets saying, hey, tune in next week for a Nintendo Direct, or maybe even tune in tomorrow for a Nintendo Direct. There's been a lot of talk of whether or not there will be a Nintendo Direct this week or next. It's possible we don't get one. That is a possibility. However, I do think that is ultimately a very low chance. I feel like with how many rumors we have of Switch 1 ports and remakes and remasters and stuff, on top of like the My Sims, EA listings, you know, it sounds like there's quite a bit to talk about. We need to see more of the Xenoblade X DLC, or new content, I should say. If Metroid Prime 4 is going to show up here, now would be the perfect time to give it one final showing as a Switch 1 game. If it isn't coming to Switch 2, maybe if it is a Switch 2 game, maybe they save that for the Switch 2 event in April. But Prime 4, Pokemon they'll save for Pokemon Day. It is possible we get a partner direct, I would say. Maybe we see Kirby Planet Robobot shadow dropped on Twitter. I didn't talk about this in a video, but we actually saw Good Smile is remanufacturing their Kirby Planet Robobot Nendoroid, which is, obviously that doesn't confirm anything, but the fact that it's getting reprinted, remade right now, you know, this is an officially licensed Kirby Planet Robobot product, and they're, you know, relaunching pre-orders now after it was, I looked on eBay, it was selling for like $400, and now it's like 80, right? the fact that they're re-releasing that at this specific time, I don't think is a coincidence. So Kirby Planet Robobot, maybe that it gets announced on Twitter, and then we get a partner showcase next week or something, and that has, you know, more stuff from Bandai Namco. Maybe you get a Team Asano game in there, and maybe that fills out the rest of the year. Then we get some Twitter drops from Nintendo, like the Xenoblade X new story content, you know, deep dive trailer, a Metroid Prime trailer, Pokemon on Pokemon Day. But I do expect a general Nintendo Direct. That is what I'm personally expecting. Maybe it'll be a partner showcase, but I just feel like there's quite a bit to talk about, and it's not like they're going to go cold turkey when the Switch 2 releases, right? So we're talking Kirby, we're talking Fire Emblem 4 Remake, something new entirely, maybe a Pikmin spinoff, maybe we see Yoshi's Woolly World. We're due for a Yoshi game. I've been talking about Woolly World quite a bit. I know it already got ported to 3DS, but I think that would be a great, like, August or even September game for Switch 1, as all eyes will realistically be on Switch 2. You still have to give Switch 1 owners something to look forward to, and something like Woolly World as a holiday game, honestly, I think that would do pretty well on the Switch 1. But yeah, there's most likely going to be a Nintendo Direct very soon. Nate the Hate was saying that there is, or teasing, a State of Play, a Sony State of Play for next week, the week of Valentine's Day. And a lot of people thought, well, oh, if there's a State of Play next week, there can't be a Nintendo Direct, so the Nintendo Direct must be this week. It's possible the Direct is only, 48 hours away. I'm not expecting it, though. Nintendo has done Directs the same week as State of Plays. In fact, they've even done them on the same day as State of Plays in the past. So I don't think it being the same week will, scare them off, right? They'll still do it next week if they were planning on it initially. Nate the Hate said he hadn't really heard anything about a Direct happening this month, but he also said he hasn't been checking or asking around for it. So we'll see what's going on with this Direct. But then after that, something we pretty much know for sure we'll get, even though it's not actually announced yet, is a Pokemon Presents. Every February 27th, we get a Pokemon Presents, and this is something I am so excited for. I mean, I'll do a predictions video closer to it. I want to say there's a chance we get another Pokemon game announced here, be that mainline or a spinoff, but most importantly, we're going to see Pokemon Legends EA. We're going to get a release date for Pokemon Legends EA. We're going to see gameplay. We're going to get probably like a 10-15 minute deep dive on this game, and I cannot wait. All eyes on Switch 2, I get that, but man, Pokemon Legends Arceus is one of my favorite Switch games. So to know that we're only a few weeks away from seeing the successor to that is so freaking exciting. And, it's my most anticipated game of the year, right up there with Doom the Dark Ages and Ghost of Yotei. So, and obviously Mario Kart now too for Switch 2. But Pokemon Legends EA on the Pokemon Presents, that is going to be such an amazing day. I cannot wait to stream that, react to it with you all, and that should be a fun day, even if it is just Pokemon Legends EA and mobile updates. Although, like I said, I really wouldn't be surprised if there's a few other teases for the future after Legends EA in this thing. Especially, they didn't need to announce Legends EA last year when they did. Obviously, they did it just to kind of satiate fans, I think, because it was such a quiet year overall. But maybe this is a new strategy going forward, man. Maybe we get a tease for, I don't want to say Gen 10, but I mean, maybe. Or a black and white remake that comes out next spring. I don't know. I just feel like there's a good chance it's not just Legends EA we see in this Pokemon Presents, which would already make it one of the best Pokemon Presents ever. So that is one I'm definitely looking forward to. March 10th, this is going to be a weird one because if you recall, last year we actually got a Mario Day presentation where they announced Mario Movie 2 was being worked on. They gave us release dates for Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2. Do we see a similar presentation where Miyamoto comes out and they talk about Mario Movie 2 again? I actually think we will. I think this is something they're going to start talking about. I think they're going to start doing this every year. I could be completely wrong, but even if it's just a 5-minute video saying, hey, work on the Mario Movie 2 is going well, here's the official title and logo, here's some of the new casting, maybe even a little clip of it. I mean, it's coming out a year from now, so they could probably show something on top of maybe a tease of a little bit more Mario Kart gameplay. They could do that. If there's a Mario game in the Nintendo Direct, if there's a Mario baseball game slated for summer or something, they could show more of that. I think we will get a Mario Day presentation. There can be more Legos as well. There's enough going on around Mario, not just in the game sphere, to warrant a Mario Day presentation that goes over all of the merch and stuff as well. So Mario Day, maybe not the most exciting thing in the world, but I do think we'll get something on there as well on March 10th. March 20th, not a news drop, but Xenoblade X will release. That's a big release. That's their next major thing. I mean, it's possible the Nintendo Direct has something that maybe comes out before Xenoblade X, right? Metroid Prime 2 and 3 is something we talk about a lot here. But Xenoblade X, I'm so excited for this. That's the first Nintendo release since Brothership that I've really been looking forward to. I enjoyed Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, but Xenoblade X, man, that is where my hype is at for Nintendo right now in terms of Switch 1. So very excited to play through that, which leads perfectly into, 10 or 13 days later, we have on April 2nd, the Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. The build up to this event is going to be, it's almost going to be scary because I really, really hope it doesn't get spoiled. I really hope we go into this event blind, at least from the first party side. If third parties start leaking their games and stuff, that would suck, but that's fine. Like, I don't really care that much. We've already seen so many rumors about all these Xbox games coming over, Ubisoft, From Software stuff. Like, if the third party games leak, that's one thing. If we see spoilers or leaks of the new 3D Mario or Monolith Soft's next project, that's going to hurt a little bit because I want to go into this event completely blind, just, seeing all these games for the first time. So it's going to be a big day. It's going to be a big lead up to that event. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully Puro does not get the information early. That'd be nice. But that's going to be, that's the big one on April 2nd. It's especially a big deal for me because 2 days later in New York, they're doing hands-on events. And I haven't talked about this in a video, but I did get selected. I did get in to the Switch 2 events. So I will be making videos here, live streaming the Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd. On April 3rd, I guess, I'll probably be trying to secure a pre-order. That's likely when pre-orders will go up. But then also I have a flight to New York. So going to be a very busy, 72 hours for me. But it's going to be very exciting because we're going to get hands-on impressions of all the Switch 2 games they show in that event. And I'll have videos on each and every single thing that I see there after I get home. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then all throughout April, here's the thing. It depends on how that Switch 2 Direct is kind of formatted. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a partner showcase in April for Switch 2 games. Because with how many third parties we're hearing want to bring all of their old, back catalog from the PS4 over to Switch 2, you can't have Ubisoft showing Far Cry 4 in a Switch 2 reveal event showcase, right? It just does not make sense. You could show Far Cry 6 maybe, and even that's kind of pushing it. Or like The Division 2, like that's an old game. Rainbow Six. Not to single out Ubisoft here, but I kind of feel like a third-party partner showcase for Switch 2 games is warranted. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe late April we get that. Maybe it just ends up being an Indie World or something, but I think in late April there will be some sort of other Switch 2 events that focuses more on third parties or indies or something along those lines. Maybe it's early May, but then May/June, that's when I have pinned down for the launch of this console. That's the rumor right now. I have come to the conclusion that I think it will release on May 22nd, which is definitely earlier than some people think. I made a whole video about that. Definitely go check out that. But from April 2nd, April 4th, hands-on events, and then through to the release in late May, maybe early June, that's just a lot. There's going to be a lot to talk about, right? There's not going to be a down point in there, really, I don't think, because everybody's going to be talking about their projects, and it's just going to be so exciting for so long there. And then once we get our hands on the console, it doesn't really end there, because then we'll have all of the games coming out, right? There's going to be Summer Games Fest. We're going to start seeing more third parties announce their new games for the Switch 2 at SGF, at the Xbox Showcase even in June. That's going to be a big deal. And then I don't know if Nintendo will do a proper June Direct this time around. I feel like they might skip that and just go straight to a September Direct this year, especially if the April Direct is a massive blowout. But if the April Direct, maybe the April Direct doesn't show us everything coming out this year, just kind of like the launch lineup a couple of games after. Maybe we do still get a June Switch 2 Direct that shows, in detail, like the November game or the October game, that kind of thing. They'll tease it in April for sure, but maybe June is when we get the blowout, and then September is when they kind of lay a little bit of the roadmap for early 2026. So there is a lot to be excited for Nintendo fans. Like I said earlier, it feels like there's been a bit of a drought ever since the Switch 2 was announced, quite frankly, which is funny because we waited so long for that reveal. But I think we're on the precipice of just nonstop, good, exciting Nintendo news, and I cannot be more excited to cover it all for you and discuss it with you all. That's what I'm here to do. I love talking about Nintendo news and the games that they release, and I especially cannot wait to cover Pokemon Legends ZA. That's going to be a big one when it releases. I'll be doing a ton of videos on that like I did for Scarlet and Violet. I can't believe it's been almost 3 years since then. Mario Kart, I'll be going hard on. I have a lot of Mario Kart videos planned between now and when that game releases, but I think I want to wait until we get a little bit closer to start kind of, really pumping those out. Everybody else already did there, so I'm going to wait a little bit here, but very exciting times ahead. I will have a video tomorrow morning going over the financial information that comes out, the Switch 1 sales numbers, and any other little tidbits they give us regarding Switch 1, maybe a Nintendo Direct announcement, maybe they say something interesting regarding Switch 2, we'll have to wait and see, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for this massive wave of Nintendo news that is upon us? And of course, as always, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch news, discussions, theories, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames, and until next time, folks, peace.